taking on Heroic. I've been a big Liquid stan throughout this entire tournament so far. That ain't changing now. Cadian taking a little peek down through middle, does spot players coming his way early. This is Liquid's map pick, so they've been graced with this T side beginning. Heroic leaning heavy down towards this B bomb site. 4 players there. And Cadian solo peeking mid. It's a bit of a matchmaking classic. Fallen gonna line up that heaven smoke, and now the push is coming in.
Oh, the double barrel setup denied. They drop a smoke, but there's a Molotov on top, and now you know Liquid are gonna check this spot out. It burns Tess as he dies with his ship. Will that sell the fake? Refrezh gets one, Shush pokes his head out and does take down that. One more man on the side, doesn't know where to look, and it's Shush to find the round. That looked very scary for Heroic. Liquid perfectly counter the setup, but if anything, Tess is dying there in the Molotov.
That's what I was going to say.
You know, maybe even on purpose to a degree, right? Just standing in it, taking a fight.
It definitely wasn't on purpose. Look, the smoke doesn't actually extinguish it, and he's fully blind, so he doesn't know he's burning. But I think it actually helps them out in the long run, as you say, because it means, you know, that Barrels molly goes in, you see you get a kill to it, and you go, oh, Barrels is clear. He burned in the Molotov like a fool. When in reality, it was a double setup all along.
It's one way to be playing with the hearts and minds of Liquid. Right? I think this pick is interesting as well for Liquid. It's a dangerous one. It's not a map they frequented. They, you know, had a shaky win back at Cologne over NiP. They picked it against Entropic, maybe to test it out right here in Europe and go, okay, how good is our Overpass? And you know, they won that game. It was close. It went as it should, I guess. Entropic are a really nice Overpass team. So, you know, for Liquid, they've had a bit of time in the officials. They've had a bit of practice, and now they're bringing up against Heroic. Dangerous decision. Will they come to regret it? Naf with the Deagle, otherwise Glocks.
Yeah, they should just get minced up. Cadian and Stoum running this crossfire. And even if any one of them were to fall, you still had Tessez over towards long. So 3 in the toilets, perfect little, you know, cool to deal with that 5-man toilets push. And Heroic, they get that conversion round, 2-0 now. But here come the guns for Team Liquid. I do get a bit anxious with the Overpass pick. I do think, you know, Heroic are not a team to sleep on here on this map, right?
Just have such a wide map pool as well.
Exactly, right? I don't think you would have felt particularly safe leaning anywhere, but Overpass, as you say, just because we don't really know where Liquid are at on it outside of the Entropic and NiP wins. And, you know, Maniac was saying as well, like, Heroic are very, very knowledgeable in terms of, like, not being afraid to get this info and play around with the rotations, and I think that's very true for this Heroic squad. Liquid, not so much. So, Fallen, flashed in middle, but it's Shush's MP9 getting the better of him.
Yeah, Elige would love to trade, but he also knows dying here loses the round immediately, right? That bomb was around the corner, so he had to just take a spray and leave. And Heroic go, fine, you can leave, but we've now got you locked down on the lower portion of the map. No one got out middle. We spot connector. Liquid are trapped down on B, and they basically have to commit. There's just too much unknown in going back up into A. And so Heroic, what do? They stack that lower site, pulling 4 players into position. Liquid, they've got to fight their way out. Oh, but are they given an escape route?
Yeah, they're allowed to dance up over at Khan. Elige needs to be cautious because they're starting to push Monster right as he's looked away. And this might lead to the bomb getting cut loose. Down in the short tunnel, Elige, 2 players there, they get the better of him, and this round has fallen apart at the seams for Team Liquid. Stewie, double swung, they just count down, swing together.
Heroic for blood, man.
Yeah, it's a flawless bonus round. Bear in mind what they came into that with, right? It was a collection of FAMASes, MP9s. Well, now you get out of it with 4 AKs. You keep 5 alive. Heroic are in a blinder of a spot right now.
Yeah, Liquid are getting pressured on all fronts. It's really nice to see from Heroic, right? Never letting off the gas, never giving you room to discuss what you want to do, how you want to approach that round. And even Elige there, he's running to try and trade Naf, who dies in the tunnel. And that's when Tessez sprints back up to him. Just no second where Heroic aren't mashing that W key. Trying to get it over with quick. Tessez got to run back this time. Sees the pistols and dishes out some death. Grim's Tech 9 taps Cadian. That's something. That's a gun for Liquid, and they've got a bit of armor to work with, so Stewie now armed. Can Liquid make anything interesting out of this round?
They would love to. I mean, even keeping Heroic modest, right, after a flawless bonus round, you know, you're worried about their money getting out of control. If you can even find 3 kills here, that can be a win in and of itself.
Yeah, stopping AKs from getting saved as well is massive, right? Like, you know, taking guns away is whatever, you're just thinking about money, but these AKs, look at them. Headshot, instantaneous for Tessez. Obviously no helmets here, but it wouldn't change the outcome. And so Liquid would love to take guns out, specifically the AK. Stewie's done that, dropping down. One more man on the site, and he knows he's jumping around. Stewie can't find the kill, though. Refrezh won't give it away. Tessez comes back from long to try and group with his teammate, not wanting to offer Liquid up a 2-on-2. If they took him down there, they could have. But instead now Liquid have to pick a bomb site and commit as a unit.
Oh, the swing from Stewie sees him fall at the hands of Refrezh. Grim's going to get another go at it with the AK at least. Can't find the man in the sight. Refrezh looking good to start this one. 4-0 for Heroic, and now Rifles coming back out for Team Liquid. I'm curious if we're going to see the AWP. Fallen doesn't buy one. Could have elected to run that with just armor, but instead going for the utility. You got 5 rifles. Cadian's bringing his AWP out. I want to shine some light on these AWPers, right? You got 2 great, you know, lead AWP figures. On top of that, 2 phenomenal clutch AWP players, right? I think a lot of this for Liquid is going to hinge on getting a big performance out of Fallen and Elige. So often, that's been the winning recipe for this Liquid squad. When they've looked their best, when they've been at their most dominant, those have been the 2 showing up.
Yeah, on the flip side, it's also nice to see games now where Liquid, you know, don't have Elige popping off and they still find wins. Even think back to that Fnatic game where, you know, in the playoffs when they went triple overtime, Elige had a quiet map on Dust. They still picked it up. So it's reassuring, but you definitely want all cylinders firing right now in this quarter. Naf, great shot to Shush, catching him off the barrels. Molotov, nowhere to move but the crosshair of Liquid. And they won't commit. They pull back out a monster. Heroic have a 3rd player now down on B. There's not much I can do about it. Liquid aren't offering up a trade. Smokes are down, info to be gained for Heroic. But Stown sees nothing. It's all a timing game as Grim could come back down connector. But not yet. Fallen's bringing the bomb through instead. That's even more dangerous. Uh-oh.
Ready for this. Fallen considers it, comes around, looking right at the boost, but misses the shot. Stewie trying to swing to trade that out, at least brings us back into a 3-on-3. Cadian, here's the footsteps in middle. They don't know about him in the toilets, and the trade doesn't come through. Instead, Grim's grabbed the bomb and is hightailing it into the A bomb site, but he is very much alone. Going for the truck plant as well. Now, they don't know about this long lurk from Naf, but if he doesn't get here in time, he won't even be able to play around this bomb. Grim needs to hold on to the site and take him one to the grave with him is going to help out. That molly on the bomb is actually buying Naf more time. But if they just get on it now, you got to swing wide from the toilets. There's the swing. Refrezh locks in the kill. And Heroic, they go 5-0 up.
Wow, dude, that was so close. I guess he was just expecting Naf to, the obvious players for Naf to commit there and come out through long. He had a Molotov, though. He would have been able to throw it from a fairly safe position. It was that or the gunfight. Obviously, the danger of going for the molly play there is you don't know whether Refrezh has utility, still a smoke to drop on it, but yeah, close round out of Liquid, not quite. I like that play from Grim, though, right? Instead of trying to get that trade, which he knew he really couldn't, Cadian just backed up and wanted to stall him in the toilets. Grim gets past him. He gets all the way up into A and at least gets that plant, which allows another buy for Liquid. Everything to play with yet again, but no AWP. Cadian shows his in con for a second at least, backs out safely. Heroic's monster setups are something to be terrified of on this CT side, and this round is an example of that. Shush and Refrezh set up for it. Very hard to know whether you want to be flashing over the wall, popping it close in front of you, meaning you have to run backwards to a degree, and how you want to combo utility. Quick flash in, Liquid, force a turn. The second one's the one that works, but Refrezh was anti the whole time. Shush trades, and he doesn't get out alive. 3-on-2 for Liquid. They almost reset, but then they go right back in for more.
Oh, that's the bomb, though.
Oh,
no one else was there. Yeah, that does look like one of those moments where, 2 conflicting decisions come through. They're able to get the bomb, but they've not made it easy for themselves, and this is falling apart now. Naf is throwing into a 1v2. And he's dealt with by Stown. You know, if you want to look at Heroic and who's been looking good there, it has been this trifecta of refrezh, Tessez, and Stown. And the fact that these guys are all giving us heat right out of the gate might be a bit of a problem. And you kind of contrast that to the slow starts out of some of the stars on Liquid.
Yeah, that's a real shame for Liquid as well, right? Definitely getting a bit flustered already in this game. Game plan's not going well. It's getting them into all these close clutch scenarios that they can't convert. These post-plants occasionally. And right there, half of Liquid wanted to push through Monster, the other half wanted to double back as they have in the past. But honestly, you know, you had so many picks into B, it was up for the taking. You had some space. It doesn't matter what you do there. You had time to play it slow as well. You've just got to do it together. And Liquid split into pieces down on the B-bomb site. 6-0 for Heroic. Liquid with a bit of a broken buy now. Galil, Mac-10's pistols. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Might see something fast through connector. You know, Cadian's been AWPing it. Try and get that mid pop over the top and take them down. That seemed to be what Heroic are reading into as well. They start with 3 on the A site. Liquid are heading lower.
Oh yeah, Grim's going fast through middle. He never extinguished the molly, and so Cadian wasn't ready for someone to be so deep. It's a nice idea when he's only got this Mac-10 in play, but now that long push has secured the mid control. And at this point, these 2 Heroic players in the B site know it's a B play. Stown holds on, he does what he can, and he's got Shush here backing him up every step of the way. Stewie 2K in a 1-on-4 is going to get silenced. And so it's still flawless for Heroic, 7-0.
Yeah. Hey, they've won a Pro League Online before. They've been there, they've done that, and now they're looking for the T-shirt as well. The biggest threat to Liquid so far, perhaps, especially considering Gambit, you know, already got knocked out of this tournament. We saw Liquid take them pretty damn close. And otherwise, it's been, I don't want to call it easy street for Liquid. That would be disingenuous at this point in the tournament. But, you know, they ran through the group with ease. Fnatic may have, you know, faced them pretty fiercely on Dust 2, but otherwise was silent in that series. Liquid just need to get the taste of blood back in their mouth.
Yeah, but right now, it's Heroic taking all these liberties, right? Only getting more confident as the game goes on. Cadian still hanging around in middle. Doesn't want to fall, so he will eventually have to concede this, but it's all well and good. Liquid are having to take a lot of time here. You're fighting on other ends of the map as well. Tess says that nade would secure the kill you like to think, but instead, Grim's going to trade out, or sorry, swing out and grab it. Liquid. Ooh, they're finally coming through with something here. 4-on-2. Grimothy finally dealt with down in the connector. You really need to win this one. Liquid have not been in any of these man advantage scenarios, and refrezh, even though he's dealt with in con, there's still Cadian waiting on B, and I said about these AWPers, good clutch players. Well, Cadian fits that bill. He hears the footsteps. He knows they're wrapping him at Monster. He's already here. The spacing is everything right now for Liquid. They swing it, and Stewie baits the shot out, locks in the round, and Liquid finally get their first on the board in round number 8.
Oh, that first peek is just enough of a jiggle to force the shot as well. He even saw the shadow coming, but that lets him down, I guess. Liquid don't full swing like he hoped. He heard them running the entire way. Not quite enough for a round. You were scared there for a second. Heroic are finally put to their knees for a moment. Still plenty more rounds ahead of us. Double AWP even coming out now for Heroic as they are floating on a cloud. They've got all the money in the world. This is where it's going to start to drip dry, though. If Liquid can find a follow-up round, they will break Heroic. And that's when these T-sides start. That's all you want on the T-side of Overpass. Get these orbs out of your opponent's hands. Get these rifles away, and then the anti-ecos are just so much easier. Liquid looking to build into the game late. Oh, Grim, though. Got to be careful. Got a double in con last time. This round he's dinked through. Heroic blew off the door immediately. Many CT teams do that, not only for the information, but the fear of the spam as well. It also means if Liquid are clearing con and they don't have water, B short control, they've got to worry about their backs.
Yeah, they've also got to be worried about the boost as well. It just opens up so many possibilities for CTs. Cadian with this AWP, missed shot in the long toilets and dealt with the second time around. Stewie creating this space over towards A. That's a nice flash peek for refrezh. He at least gets the info. Fallen was here. And is he going to look to swing this? The second flash goes out and over, and it's Shush to set him up for that kill. 4-on-4, and it grinds to a bit of a halt now. Liquid are looking for a way out. Grim down in connector. He's either going to give them that leverage, or he could be the kill that tips the scales to Heroic.
He's just making sure that he's not being flanked, and he's got misinformation. Tess is tucked in from B short. He knows now he has a timing to go and attack this backline, and the more utility he hears go over, the more info that Liquid are committing. Tess has the round in the palm of his hand.
Yeah. And now there's also this 3-man stack in the A-bomb site. You're getting 4 from the back, from the front.
No
and
time.
It's looking to get locked in. Time runs out for Team Liquid. Stewie, just a bit of time to try and recover this site kill, but ends up dying. It's fine, you know.
Ace.
It's all 5 for refrezh, mate. I didn't even notice with the flank coming in.
You thought
Tesses was going to go the way of Tesses.
Sick round from refrezh. Yeah, like everyone supporting. The Orbs are taking the attention away. Tesses is shooting players in the back for 99. And this is where refrezh just lines them up, man. Oh my goodness, you'd think you'd be getting cleared in that corner, mate, traded at least.
It's so heartbreaking because, as you correctly pointed out, you know, that's all coming off the back of Tessa's down in con and having that info. Like, boys, just stay up on A. I can hear them. They're not coming to me. They're not going down B. They don't have the time.
Wow, what an ace, refrezh. On one right now, 15-3. Lights out performance, and it's exactly what Heroic needed here in the first map. Liquid's pick is going against them right now. In that Entropic game, Liquid managed on with a 6-round half. It was their CT side where they really looked lights out, going 10-3 over. And so that's the problem. You know, 6 rounds versus Entropic. Sure, good Overpass team, Heroic, a team of a different caliber. You need some breathing room to set yourself up for that defense comeback. Cadian flashed off this time around. There's been some missed orb shots, but this time didn't even get to see his opponent. That's the same. Flick goes nowhere. Nade to the truck does nothing, and Heroic have had to concede the site. They're even hunting down this long player. Tessus doesn't know where to look. That's a gun for the post plant and a man up. Many a team would save here. Your money's on the line. Oh no!
Oh no, missed flash from Cadian, but there's refrezh giving you the opener and enticing you back in for this retake perhaps. You've still kept it even, you've kept it in this 3-on-3, and the one gun is now removed from Team Liquid. It's going to be an attempt at the last second defuse. Smoke on the bomb, refrezh is low, and this could be a money-ruining round. Team Liquid, they find it with Deagles, they find it with the A-play. Heroic now back in the doldrums, might just have to force up here. That loss bonus not established yet.
Yeah, I mean, that I wouldn't have been surprised if after that missed flash comes in for Cadian, they just call it. They go, screw it, guys, we don't have a chance. I mean, it came close, right? Anyway, the smoke bomb, 3-on-3, no guns, Liquid just playing safe in toilets, but that was enough to keep them in it. Very scary round with a bit of confusion on all sides, right? You would have loved Cadian to soften up the herd by taking a kill with the orb before Liquid took A, and then Tessus on long was scared of the toilets while they were chasing him down. Couldn't hear what was going on.
Yeah, thus far, a lot of these missed Cadian AWP shots have felt inconsequential because Heroic still win the round anyway, right? Yeah. But that one there was one where he has like 3-4 opportunities to remove a player and every one of them falls short. This could get awkward. Flash into the connector for refrezh, but he doesn't want to commit on the back of it. That decision will keep him alive. No. Tess now armed with the AWP. They want this trade. They want to deal with him. He's blinded Elige, tags him down low. They're trying to win a D ground back in response, but Elige wants no part in it. Are they ready for Cadian up close? They've dealt with Shush on the backstab, and now Cadian on this swing also falls at the hands of Grim. Team Liquid on their way to a third, and only refrezh stands between them and that goal.
Man, Liquid, very impressive that they've kept this round so clean so far, right? Think about the fights that have come through, that pop flash into connector, fully blinded one of the Liquid players, and there was still no activation for Heroic. The push-up in mid from, was it Tessus with the Deagle, taking one, tagging Elige. He fully blinded him with that bait flash that he peeked off of as well. And then Cadian aiming for body shots as Grim comes out con. He gets nothing from it. So some very close engagements that Liquid only just get out ahead of. They keep 4 alive. Very important in trying to pull this comeback, get an 8-7, and keep Heroic on their, you know, low economy. That will be apparent now for at least one more round. So you're not worried yet if you're Heroic, but you can feel Liquid warming in.
No, and I think, you know, key points to focus in on will be that, like, someone like Elise is starting to get warmed up now, right? I'm still waiting for us to get a big Fallen round. I'm waiting for this guy to get switched on.
Yeah. Not really had the AWP a lot.
Well, yeah, right? And on top of that, you got this little B-rush. Shut down. Nafly is looking prime today. But I think, you know, the fact that Cadian has been struggling to begin this one as well maybe makes it more forgivable that Fallen hasn't had a rip-roaring start, but we will still need that activation if Team Liquid are to win this, right?
Also, T-side Overpass, like, you're going to have trouble in finding opening kills unless you're getting that early mid-fight versus Cadian, which we've not seen Fallen take with an AWP. Like, Heroic is so measured in how they give you fights in this CT side. They're always flashing plays, they're always double facing, and if they're not doing that, they're giving everything up and playing so passive in some of these setups, right, where they just beg you to commit and run your execute, and that's when these crossfires come in. So yeah, Heroic on a team that are going to give you these like players caught out in the open in the middle of along a tree, or a player, you know, obviously Cadian got caught once by that Mach 10 rush of Grim, but other than that, we've not really seen, you know, Heroic dying alone. They've always had setups to counter that if they're not bringing the fight to you. Think about the amount of aggressive mid pushes they've already done in this CT half. So yeah, no surprise that Fallen's had a slower start, but now that he's got the AWP, he definitely needs to make it worth its while.
Yeah, the decision for Cadian to throw money into that last round leaves them in a kind of weird spot now on this side of Heroic. You're saying, like, yeah, we could buy this, but at what cost, you know? Like, we're not going to have a lot. We're not going to be able to sustain any of these faster rounds. You know, we won't be able to deny any sort of rushes. We won't have that AWP on Cadian. I almost wonder if they might... I was going to say you could make a case for partial investing here, but...
I think Cadian will just save for the AWP on the next gun round. He'll probably just play Deagle or an SMG here and, you know, keep it going until later. Oh, he gets a FAMAS. All right. Fully committing our Heroic. Yeah, it leaves you with no util. Like you said, rushes are going to be hard to stop. Got one Molotov on your CT side, full smokes at least, couple of HE grenades. Expecting to see that door getting blown off. Seems to be the protocol to go to out of spawn. So Heroic, they are buying here, and they've had a quick tack. They've got a plan behind it. Let's see.
Yeah, we got Fallen working mid with the AWP. Little run boost to send Shush to the other side of Monster without anyone seeing it. Now, you will completely discount this position because it wasn't smoked, it was only mollied, and you were holding for that cross. They never knew that Shush got there. You know, these are the prime rounds to bring in trickery like that, right? To really mix things up. I figured you'd see something like that. I wasn't expecting a run boost. I was more expecting just a regular boost, like to try and take short away or something. But hell, you know, any little gimmick you can to turn the round to your advantage is brilliant for Heroic. The fact that that's a 2 for none is huge.
Yeah, Monster has not been good to Liquid in this game, right? Like, it really has been somewhere they need to stay away from for the remainder of the half. I think they know that as well. The only round they've won out of it was that 2v1 against Cadian, and that was a reset anyway off of A. So here we go. Liquid now 3 on 5. They have to give this a try. They've got the money for it. Cleaning out toilets with utility. They don't know there's no AWP in as well. You've always got to be aware of the possibility that someone has saved enough. Can't keep track of the finances. Oh god, Grim, he doesn't know there's a long player. Tessus gets out of dodge, a smoke's down, and a player is drawing them in from the truck, from the dumpster. Grim just turns on a dive and takes out Tessus. What a read. Maybe a call, maybe a footstep heard. 15 seconds as the plant comes in. Cadian trying to do something about it. It's up above the smoke, and he's fallen off. Grim should be able to trade this. Fallen's getting hounded down, and Naf tries to come in to save the day. All the kills for Heroic. It's Fallen's time to shine, and he can't do it. Trapped on the bomb site with a flank as well coming in. There was nowhere to go.
No, you know, Cadian only gets 1 kill out of it, but he does a hell of a lot in getting to that dumpster position and working around the mist smoke, you know, like... He just throws a big degree of chaos into the mix, right? And as you're trying to help your team out by peeking Cadian, you're actually exposing yourself to the angles that the rest of his team are holding. This was a really nice round out of Heroic from everything, you know, from that run boost in the beginning to get the double opener.
Yeah.
KD are making this push happen, and look how much like duress and stress this put the T's under, you know. Guy in toilets tries to swing to help out. Well, that makes you, you know, lose your post plant player. Suddenly Fallen is to 1v4 from the middle of the bomb site. Like, hey, good luck, mate. I don't think anything, you know, even if he was having an incredible game today, that would have been undoable.
Okay, now Cadian's starting to throw himself into the void. He's got the orb. They smoked the volley. They knew he could be, well, he knew they could be out mid rather. So he's aware of playground. But he won't stay there forever. The flash, not at all pushing him back into the toilet. He waits for this contact fight. Any more utility? Doesn't look like it. They could line up, but Cadian just takes down Fallen and gets out with only a graze.
TeSeS is still in connector.
Oh, no.
And he's hit this perfect timing. Now, he should get traded from Rotom Khan, but it comes in once he's dealt with both the mid players. And now, at this point, right, the guys on A are feeling pretty assured in these peaks down towards connector. They're looking to fight for it, and Cadian strips Naf from the action. It's all left onto Grim. 1-on-4, Cadian scoped up at short, refrezh holding the toilets. Even though he deals with the first, it's that second man available to trade at the drop of a hat. Heroic are now up 10-4 and a chance to dominate this first half of play.
A call might have come through at the end then not to save the orb, because refrezh swapped back onto the AK, and you do that when you have a lot of money, and it is last round of the half, but you actually can't buy the orb. It's not available. So, you know, they didn't maybe do the maths before they made that call. It was, you know, you get a split second to make that decision, but that's a rough one for Heroic, as it's now going to mean they're just back on rifles. Not the end of the world. The AK is good, and honestly, refrezh 19-6. At least he has the AK. I'm happy with that. Nice flash from Stound to pop. TeSeS up toilets or up connector as well. The timing on that flank. Elige was holding Con, but Stewie was throwing a flash for him inside of toilets, and Stewie was wider. So easy isolation there for TeSeS taking his 1v1s. Quick team speak issue for Team Liquid, and now we're back in.
Yeah, I am getting nervous though, right? Like, if we kind of compare, even how Liquid look on like a level of kind of a very surface level look, right? Like, throughout this entire tournament so far, they've been very, very keen to fight you. They've always felt like they've had a lot of faith and a lot of direction behind what they're doing. And it just feels like it's lacking a little bit now, where it really starts to matter the most. Everything looks kind of shaky. They had that round where like, they doubt themselves on the B play, where they could have got on the board early. There's been a few rounds like that where it feels like you're just stuck between two mines, as you say.
Yeah, you broke that money. You had the reassurance of that one rifle round, the force and the full eco that followed, and then you go quiet again. Heroic, like, they've been waiting those 3 rounds just to get their guns in. They put them to use. They show us different setups. That run boost for, across Monster as well. Heroic have had a lot of ideas, and that's something we've always credited them with. Molotov for short to stop that quick take. The only thing Heroic are taking is mid.
Yeah, they've just been so willing to fight you every step of the way. And this round is no exception. Look at TeSeS over here in middle. He might hit this timing to Elige. Now you're hoping that Fallen could trade this out. You're hoping he can at least secure you this mid kill. And while that's happened, Stewie over here in the connector spams out a kill on the short side. So back into a 3-on-3. And with Heroic stacked up over on A, well, they spot this bomb going long. How long do they hold this boost for?
No.
Cadian's gotten down now and is swinging it wide, but he still drops the bomb. That is info now for Heroic, and it might spur Fallen to take this bomb out of there. They've just seen it crossing to long. Instead, Naf's coming up to him, but I wonder if they are. Yeah, I was going to say, I thought they would go back to B, right? You've just seen the bomb at long. But look who's here.
Oh, this is dangerous. You're up on your own, and you're out on an island. Naf is ready for the smoke fade. Shush gone, and the B site now open for the taking. It's a retake for Stown. He's not had a quiet game, though. He's not been one to sleep on. Smoke, Kit, Flash, and they're plotting for him as well. They've got to. They don't know about that heaven position. Molly fades, and Stown moves silent as Fallen gets even more aggressive. Stown knows he's got one on either side at this point. But which can he fight first? No one's giving him anything. Fallen's graffiti, and Naf closes the half with 5 for Liquid. It's good enough, but they've got to win the pistol. Pressure is going to be on their shoulders. Heroic beaming down and sitting at 10 at the end of the half.
Hey Future Pros, over on Overpass today, to show y'all a smoke I saw Furia throw to help get out of the monster position on B.
Boys in Heroic, they sit 10 rounds up. Things are looking good for the Danes. Not looking so good for the hope of NA. Liquid with just 5 rounds to their name. To say they need this pistol here to kickstart a second half feels like a bit of an understatement. If they don't win it, they're going to be feeling that pressure, all right.
You know, Liquid were waiting for this. They're just happy they've got enough that they can, you know, sit back and still have some gun rounds on this CT side, right? This is where they should be unleashing everything they've got. Otherwise, it's Heroic stealing their map pick and setting us up for what could be a 2-0. Fast out long for Heroic. No one there to greet them. Heavy connector side stack for Liquid means they miss all these timings. In terms of calling a pistol, you couldn't have called a better one than this. Cadian is at least going to keep the attention of the comp players in mid, and that is confirmation for Heroic that they've got space to work with. Up they go, seeing the barrel of Grim's USP. But that's not enough to tempt them in. They're just going to walk right by. Take that A site. There's been a rotate. Only Naf there, though. Fallen tasked alone at that B-bomb site with his smoke. Stown gonna hunt this kill. He knows he's still close and he's got Grim by surprise. Second man, Stown wasn't ready and Stewie trades that. You still don't know about Elige, the third in connector, and so Liquid decide to re-aggress. Cadian's holding for this exact play.
Yeah.
Blimey.
Yeah, Cadian, this is gross, mate. Oh, Stewie's now deleted. On the upside, it wasn't Elige that was just spotted. This might give you a false sense of security when it comes to connector. And if you're going to try and rotate down here, there's a third man waiting in the wings.
Holding.
Right now, refrezh is calling that the B-bomb site looks clear. And Elige baited out by a decoy there.
Can't blame him.
$50, ladies and gents, and that's what gets Elige killed. Just Fallen and Nafly 2-on-4, and this B-bomb site overran by Heroic. Fallen and Naf will tap out one. Gonna give this a go, but refrezh has sent Naf back to the Shadow Realm, and Fallen should be next to follow. They swing him all together, and he tries his damnedest, but there's nothing you can do when you're getting triple peak like that.
I mean, it's a perfect call for Heroic to get up long when Liquid have that setup. Like, you can call that luck if you want. Like, there's no reason to know that Liquid would triple con, even though we've seen them before. But the crazy thing is, you know, refrezh walked out B in that mid-round as well. Heroic were just probing bomb sites. They were just waiting for Liquid to get uncomfortable, knowing they wouldn't sit around forever. And especially considering Liquid didn't have A info forever, that's even more pressure. That's why Stewie goes up the ladder. That's, you know, why we see rotates off of B.
So I also believe that that was like a bit of a read out of Heroic, because refrezh was the guy to walk into B. He was also the dude with all the utility. Like, that's a big gamble to take when you're like the utility guy of the team, right? Yeah. If you die, you lose it all. Oh my goodness, hang on a second. These Deagles over in mid, and Stewie's scout have found 3 in the blink of an eye.
Okay.
It wasn't meant to go like this. Heroic were at least hoping to trade these kills out, but they've been left with nothing.
Yeah, AKs get salvaged here, scavenged off of bodies, but Liquid made the right call just to back up as far as they can, put distance between themselves and the rest of Heroic. Play their bomb sites, wait for the commit. Heroic are cycling guns out the map. You're still arming your opponents with 2 AKs if they manage to convert the round, and all eyes are on Liquid right now. Should be easy, right? Stewie's gonna get that info. Jumping on the dice. Ooh, didn't see them that time around. This one will do it. There's the spot. Stewie now knows they're getting close.
Yeah, he's called for the rotations, and so this A-bomb site is padded out. Stewie's scout is not to be laughed at, and mate, They managed to lock it in. These two mid players, Stewie and Elige, doing it all. Find Liquid as 6th and steal a round away from Heroic.
Insane shots, though. Check this one. Not much to work with, but just enough to find the kill. And Liquid, they keep it flawless, man. That's, yeah, we say it's better than winning the pistol round, and that certainly is true, especially in this case. Getting AKs for free, getting away with that. Elige is now taking names. Oh, he might get caught, but he checks close. It's exactly what caught KDN out the first time around. That molly's down, but a player's through it. Elige won't fall for the same play. Rest of Heroic, just Deegs and P250s heading out into B with a Heaven smoke lined up from Cadian and a flash to follow.
All right, they're going to look to employ the boost, but no one is open to this. Only guy who could stray into the crosshair would be someone like Grim, but even then, I don't think he's going to leave this position. He's got no reason to. It's Heroic feeling the pressure right now. Cadian's going to try and set up the boys with a bit of utility. He's got one flash to try and get them up short and into this site. It's just a waiting game for now.
Yeah, the minimal info you've just gotten is no one is playing on, you know, default or towards barrels, so you know certain positions are clear, you know what to focus on, but this line of Liquid players is going to be deathly.
Yeah, the flash is good. It gets one off the angle, but Stewie back in CT was anti the whole time. And to him and Grim, turn it on, get that 7th on the board, send Heroic back to pistols now, and this gap is getting closed up by Team Liquid. Also, guys like Elige started to feel a little more confident, you know, taking these mid-fights, knowing he's only up against the pistols. Grabbing that information early and allowing for such a heavy stack down towards B in the first place.
Yeah, I like that call for Liquid to run the almost retake-ish setup where you're playing super passive. You know that on that round, because you've just won the second round, Heroic Spy is going to be trash, right? The reason we say it's better to win second, especially on that CT side, is you know, when you lose pistol, you get the extra bonus money. You don't get that if you lose third round. So Heroic, they come in with no utility other than the smoke flash. Liquid, therefore, are allowed to play passive because, you know, they don't want to get up close on Monster or Pillar and get, you know, rushed by Tech-9s or Deagle body spammed. So Liquid just play the range, and they know Heroic have so many spots to clear. Even with the boost info, it's not enough. So here's where the comeback begins, if it was ever going to happen.
I think it's going to be good for the morale as well that Stewie's having such a good game, right? Like, whenever we watch these Elige POVs, you always hear that Stewie is an incredibly vocal player. And I imagine that's only going to become more apparent the more comfortable he feels. Nafly, one in some of these eeks, baby, and he's got 3 of them.
Nice.
Grim and Elige steal the last 2 away, but that's fine. 8 on the board for Team Liquid. The gap getting closed. This first rifle round that we're going to see out of Heroic is also going to carry some limitations as well. So Liquid are now in this spot where they could come back into this on their CT side after going 10-5 down.
Yeah, they got the reassurance of the money as well, right? A bit of that to, you know, help out if they lose first gun round. But Heroic, they, you know, much akin to that first half. You give Liquid a few rounds in a row, and Heroic, they've been working on their master plan all along throughout these anti-ecos. What have they got to show us in this gun round? Some nades for the B boost. No one there. Naf is passive enough that it won't kill him. refrezh wants to go through Monster yet again. He's waiting in the fade right now as his teammates spam the smoke. But never going to expect this. And Grim is caught off, but no kill. refrezh cuts his losses. He did win the damage fight at least. Grim's going to change position, wisely so. There's the Molotov that was inevitable. Grim will dodge death for now. Heroic is still sat. Ooh, okay. Not where you wanted that to go, I can assure you. That was either for Monster or one of the deeper ones towards barrels, but not those barrels, boy. Elige still has it on A, but it's very passive on the top side. Tessus is only now getting out mid at the minute mark, and he's not got any util to sell this one either, so it's clear as day that this is a B execute to Liquid.
A little jiggle from Stewie almost ruins everything. Oh, hang on a moment, Elige. This, he doesn't know it, but this fight could influence the outcome of the entire round. If he dies on A, then they might have been able to move in. But luckily enough, he stands his ground. He's secured this A-bomb site now, and you're able to maintain this stack over on B with more bullets raining in. It becomes all too clear where Heroic were hoping to end up now. 20 seconds left, and they've made no progress into this B bomb site. KD lining up a heaven smoke to try and get them in, but they've still got to fight all three in the site. And here they are, falling like flies. It's Team Liquid up onto 9.
The health, man. Yeah, that's that first round effect as well. Heroic just don't have the util to be running like enough fakes there. Elige gets his kill, like you said, this was everything. If he dies, you know, Fallen already rotated up off of Elige's kill, just in case there were more. Elige pretty quickly confirms, all right, it's fully clear. And this is the problem when you have, you know, only a smoke and a flash each into your first gun round for Heroic. You can't sell anything, you can't fake anything. And in order to do anything like that, where you want to fake out Liquid and draw their rotates out of B, you have to win your gunfights. If you lose them, like they lose the first 2 engagements, well, Liquid just know what's up, and they just sit back in their bomb site. Heroic had no way to play with the hearts and mind of Liquid there. And it's like a domino effect. With every kill you get, you are, you know, sailing further down the river, as it were.
I don't know if you saw that little video that Stewie posted to Twitter of their practice. Yeah, the flash that never was. Yeah. But yeah, it's just kind of come to my attention. Obviously, that was on Overpass. They were pracking against Fnatic.
I don't think he's using that strat anytime
No, I don't think he's using the strat. But I mean, you know, this is clearly something they've been putting work into in preparation for this matchup.
Yeah. They were getting
coming up with flashes that don't exist.
They were getting bodied by Fnatic in that prac as well. Don't know. We'll see if the CT side's going to be any better. So 11-9, and it's Liquid time. Heroic only have pistols here, once again waiting for that next full rifle. Liquid really are picking up the pace though. This was a one-sided game, no longer. Spam is very close, Heroic duck under. They're doing limbo.
Oh, damage done. Stewie's got a lot about to face him, and a lot of damage in return. Now, they will trade that out, right? They do deal with Stewie, and they blow the gun...
Did they get it out?
Further away.
Okay, that's...
Wasn't the intention. It was meant to come over, but luckily enough, Stound's got long old arms. I don't know how he was able to grab that without dying, but he has.
Built different.
And so they will just try trickle into B. But once again, you know, Elige has been very proactive over on this A bomb site. He's already secured you the info that it isn't an A play. And so all 3 of the other Liquid players are down in B and ready to hold the line. 10-11. And this is a very, very, you know, fresh-looking Liquid, like a completely different team since coming onto this CT side. The reads have looked better. They're feeling ahead of Heroic in these rounds. We still haven't really had that, like, proper full-bought Heroic yet. I think this round coming is going to be the real test where we can gauge just how excited we can get. But critically, you know, these guys who had quiet starts, Fallen, who was probably feeling like he was getting outmaneuvered at every single turn, they're starting to find themselves a little bit more now.
Yeah, Fallen's just playing rotate as well on this map, so he's been offering a lot of utility from heaven. He's been the guy, you know, running back up onto the A site when Heroic are trying to fake it out. So, oh dear, Elige gets caught with the door off. That doesn't do him any favors. He's staring at B's short control they don't have, and Stewie grabs it back, taking out Shush with the second AWP. We've still got Fallen in those toilets waiting to wield his. KD is going to get run boost his teammate out long. Fallen getting there in time, and he doesn't know that both players are out in position. Almost a third now. Stound flashing them up. Fallen escaping with a smoking toilet. And he should be able to get back to the bomb site. He's scared of close, but no need to be. Naf is going to come in to confirm that fact. And Grim, this is a massive play. Something Heroic did a little bit on their CT side. He just cleaned out the entire B bomb site. Now the rotates come up. Now Liquid are insured. Once again, this info game has come up in favor of Liquid.
Yeah, you got to credit them for their knowledge of when and where to try and take these pushes. Here come the A utility from Heroic. Stewie, they mollied you here, mate. Jeez, all right. And now they deal with him. All the kills found for Tesses and refrezh on the entries, and Grim is too far away to really make a difference. Coming up through Con, he might just die to the incumbent refrezh. Now they know he's here. They've got no reason to peek this. They've got no reason to give him a chance. Grim is out of there, and Heroic, in spite of walking into the stack, they still managed to find the round with minimal casualties when the guns come out.
That's insane that Heroic get away with that one, right? Insane. Great entries out of Tassus as well. Let's check these again. Stewie barely got a chance to see his opponents out long. Mollied, man, he could only play one position. And that's good awareness from Heroic as well. They knew that Liquid had all the short control. Fallen had already cleared out toilets, so it was always going to be a long play. And Liquid are playing for that, right? Stewie's behind Dice open to short. Heroic are aware of that possibility. Would have been easy to get caught into expecting, you know, bank and dumpster and truck positions, but they clean out everyone swinging them from Dice.
Yeah, that Molotov's great for a number of reasons, right? Because it leaves Stewie with two choices. Either he smokes it and then has to keep playing behind Dice, at which point you go, oh, he's Dice, he smoked the Molotov.
Yeah.
Or he's got to hop out of there and be open to the long peak, right? So you either use it as the info play, the info Molotov, or it forces him into your crosshairs if that utility was lacking.
Both AWPers don't have spawns in this round, you will note. Because I'm wondering when we're going to get Stewie with a mid spawn and if he's going to take it or go down connector. Because Fallen right now probably doesn't want to be taking those fights, right? If you compare how Heroic used Party and the fights Cadian took and the rounds that Tessa's jumped up into Playground as well, that was pretty common. Fallen 6 and 15, having a slow one, still offering utility when he can. He probably doesn't want to be that guy, you know, throwing himself into the first fight of the round and risking, you know, on Overpass, that's everything. You die as you CT up in middle, even on a gun round, but especially on an anti-eco. Like, you're just giving so much space. You're forcing all those B rotates out early. That's when Heroic can go slow and get weird. So I don't think we're going to have Fallen throwing himself into those fights, but we've already seen Stewie do so. B-rush.
Yeah, here's all this utility running over Team Liquid. They've got to hold on. Grim up close. Grim mows out. He's good for the double. Switching out to the dig, and all of them for Grim. He's sent them out of B. The site belongs to him. He's not going to let go of it. Cadian is left running away from his nightmares.
Jeez.
Put that one in the collection, CSGO. Jeez, look at this. It's all gone wrong. And it's all one man to do it.
Oh, he was running on that first kill. Full W spray. Just trying to get into position, trying to cross Monster. Oh, and he's made them cross in Monster. That is not what Heroic wanted. A full buy with the AWP, everything to play with. Cadian sets him out B, and they don't even make it through the tube.
Whew. I almost wonder if, like, the reason why you do that is finally you put a stop to, like, these aggressive pushes from Elige over on A. You know you've maybe forced a bit of respect out of Team Liquid over at the upper site. You want to hit them with a disrespect B play while you know the A site players are going to be playing, you know, back towards toilets, back towards long, or at least that's what you're anticipating. And yeah, mate, you can't disrespect a guy like Grim. He will make you have a very bad time.
Also, nothing's really worked, right? Like, that one round on A worked for Heroic, but they also knew. Oh, okay. They also knew that Liquid had the infos just as much, right? They don't know how they got it. It was Grim with the monster push in the previous round, but Heroic walked into a 4-man stack, so that's as obvious as it gets that you're being read. And so Heroic wanting to switch it up completely. That's one way to do it, but not the result they wanted. Cadian just trying to take guns with him. Fallen not offering that up, just playing safe on the site. It's 11 rounds to Liquid. Heroic take their first since the pistol, and it's immediately responded by Grim.
Yeah, look at this, mate. Look at it, just a murder. Out to the Deagle as well, was ready for not one, but the double push through. Really nice round out of Grim. And I almost wonder now, right, like, is that going to force a bit of respect out of Heroic down towards B? I can't imagine they're going to be keen to repeat another one of these fast little monster pushes. And so, yeah, it's back to middle, back to what was working, I guess you would say. What worked once, maybe it works again.
Yeah, now just default, right? 3-1-1. It's more of a standard start to a round for Heroic. They're playing slow. They're letting Liquid get aggressive, get ahead of themselves. We know that, you know, Liquid are a team that very driven forward by their emotions. Can be a good thing, can also be a bad thing. Heroic are hoping they give them early fights. Liquid won't make that mistake. Cool heads right now. Ice on the back of the neck. Double short setup, even a third rotate. You've brought Naf up, but he's patrolling between the two bomb sites. And Heroic are doing the same, dropping back into lower eventually. But they've got little info, man. They're still scared of places like Connector. They don't know if their entire info has just been grabbed by running through T-spawn. These are questions that Heroic have, making them doubt themselves. Still in short is Tessez. And so when you run this exec, if you get a kill or two and you want to leave, you can. You can go back up con, and you can try and regroup with Tessez for that A site. Liquid, back with Grim and Monster. And he's waiting for that smoke walk. He wants it.
Oh, Tessez is now trying to cross over in middle as this B hit comes in. Flash is good, but Grim is better. And Stewie swinging out will help remove another. That was the bomb tossed into Monster, and the round probably thrown away with it. Cadian's holding for a repeat that will never arrive. They've got no reason to give this AWP a kill. They might try and hunt it at the end of the round, because this one is a Team Liquid round all the way. 12-12. It's a tie game. And considering this was 11-5 to Heroic at one point in time, it really does give some props the way of Liquid for making this a winnable game in regulation.
It's insane. It's so impressive. And I don't think it's what Heroic expected as well, right? Just the fact that Tessez is coming in with a toilet lurk at 20 seconds and not even making contact. Like, you're expecting more aggressive rounds out of Liquid. You're expecting more information to be getting gained. It's not. Liquid are just anchoring down tremendously well. Grim is, really. And, you know, Tessez has given nothing on that A-Luck as well. He didn't have any util. It was akin to the first rifle round where Heroic did the same thing with no grenades, and it went about the same. Stown spam through the wall. Stewie, any aggression here will get punished. We've got an AWP on his angle. And even if he gets this kill, Stown should trade Stewie. Oh, missed shot. Bounds out just about. Refrezh doesn't get it. No one does. But Stewie very fortunate in that escape.
It's unreal to me that Liquid are making this happen all the while. Like, two of the normal prerequisites to a Liquid victory are pretty quiet, all things considered. This upper hold of Elysian Fallen still really yet to be involved in a lot of this, right? They haven't really had many opportunities. Elysian been good at getting info on these info plays over towards middle, but that's really been his whole plan so far.
And that's what I was talking about earlier when I said we've seen games out of Liquid where, you know, we've not had Elysian be that top man, and still they've done well. It's often been with Fallen, so it's surprising to not see him get much done either. Grim just confirmed this is a fake, right? They just mollied into B. They set up with a flash and short. You've still got 3 down lower, but Fallen, this is your time to shine on the A site.
Yeah, he really needs to hold his own here. The flash goes over, and it gets the better of a double monster hold. This is quickly getting out of hand. Fallen has now left the A bomb site as the push is coming in. He's going to realize the error of his ways. He comes back up, but if he doesn't get anything, this might be a save. There's one from Fallen, and it's a 3-on-3 retake. What do they want to do? They're going to boost up, try to clear these close angles, but they will miss timings. Oh no, Cadian goes back into the site after already getting away. And that has now given Liquid a reason to believe in this retake. Shush set up to play around the bomb. Stown, he's just here to try and take as many to the grave with him as he can. And it might be the double. Oh, they give him a jump peek. They give him another chance. He's backed up. He's flashing over. He's keeping them off the angle. Finally dealt with. And now just Shush left to beat. This whole round was centered around Shush being the guy to close, but he can't do the damage. Going to the front side of toilet, but they're on the bomb. They're sticking it, and the defuse is in for Liquid.
Wow. All the kills, none of the glory. That one hurts. It's down to the finest margin, the closest conundrum. No ammo on Stown at long as well. A few more seconds for him could have been enough. That one's going to hurt for Heroic. One of these fake plays finally succeeds as well. Refrezh started 5-on-3. He doubled up down on that lower site. It's finally a look that actually has impact as well. Shush up in toilets has been underwhelming. Refrezh at least pops off, but it means absolutely nothing. Those kills won't even invigorate you. Liquid have money for days.
And I tell you what, Elysian Fallen, they get 3 kills that matter so much in the context of that round. Fallen gets you the 3-on-3 that entices you back in.
Oh, baby.
And now he's going on to open up rounds. If we can get a little more of this out of Fallen, Liquid might be right where they want to find themselves. Shush down here and Con is dueling with Elige. And now he's got reinforcements. Elige is out of there. Bye.
Perfect timing. Look at Tessez just clearing it from top, wondering where the hell he's gone. Another benefit of nading the door as well. He just jumps backwards through the smoke. No fear, no problem. And it's also forced more utility out of Heroic. This has often been the problem for them. 2 flashes, 1 smoke remain, and we've got a minute yet left to play. Heroic heading B-ward. Cadian's going to grab that bomb along. He's got a long reset time, and Stewie jumps up, but he can't finish the job. Refrezh lives to tell the tale, and he really has been the hero of this game across both teams. But obviously for Heroic, 26-16, top of the server right now. Started that CT side nuclear on the A site as well, even had an ace. But none of this has held back Liquid before. Why would it start now?
Yeah, I mean, they've been up against it throughout pretty much the entirety of this map, right? Only having recently gotten into the lead, so I can't imagine they're looking to part ways with it just yet. Grim and Elise, they hold down this first two-man push in. Grim will finally get cleared out by Shush. Elise swinging, reclaims that frag, and it's left to Cadian in the 1-on-3. They don't want to give him room, they don't want to give him respect. They're pushing him down. This is typical of Liquid, and Naf is there to close it.
Spams him out as well.
That's the thing, man. When you're in these clutches, guys like Cadian often get given a good deal of respect to like set themselves up in a clutch. Not from Liquid. If we've seen anything from them that's been consistent throughout the groups, throughout the playoffs, is that the moment they get you into a clutch, mate, everyone will just run at you and try to steal those fights, try to just overwhelm you.
Unbelievable. And this is happening. This isn't just a pipe dream anymore. This isn't just a question of a comeback. This is a comeback for Liquid. The 10-5 down, they lost Pistol, they won that Deeg and Scout round with Stewie and Elige, and ever since, it's been all Liquid. One gun round for Heroic, walking into the stack. And that's all they've been doing, man. They've been going round after round with Liquid having info. Doesn't matter which way they go. Always the right reads. Yet to see many mistakes out of Liquid, if any, in the CT side. It's what, you know, I don't want to say it's what we expected, but it's what we saw in that Entropic game. A very similar game flowing like this, but even more impressive, you're doing it up against Heroic. This is Liquid's map pick, and they want to prove it.
You know, out of everyone on Liquid, Stewie is still the guy that catches probably the most flack, I would say. Yeah. And it's games like this that are that reminder that when crunch time hits, when you need him to step up, he can do it. He's also a very vocal player. I do implore people to watch those Elige POV demos just so you can hear how much comment, how much communicating, how much he pumps this squad up and directs the flow of it.
We've been seeing it on the cams as well. Think about, like, you know, the Stewie cam where he's been getting loud and shouting about it. Stewie now, he's got to deal with a boost, and he's one step ahead. They're up above, but they've yet to peak with it. Maybe waiting for utility to go in first. We see more teams try and sell fakes and hit mollies in before. The VP mollies down. Style takes a fight. Stewie decimates him. Double dink. That one's got to hurt. You didn't even see your opponent. Here come Heroic. They're going to commit through the smoke. Massive entry needed for refresh, but it's traded. And Stewie's only good for a second. Heroic reset. They cut their losses. They get out. And they're 3-on-3. World is theirs. They can go wherever they want.
Yeah, Liquid having clearly, you know, done their research in spades there. They see that molly go over. It's something Heroic love to do to try and force a reposition out of Monster into the boost. The moment they see that telltale Molotov, that's when Stewie's up on the boost angle. It's still the B commitment. Naf and Elige have got to hold the line. They hear the flashes, they hear the footsteps. There's the swing, and Elige knocks them both out. Only Shush left to beat. He's made it close, but Elige is going to lock in 15 for Team Liquid.
It's like you can hear us. Ever since we've been saying this guy's been a little bit quiet, but he still had an impact in myriad of ways. He's had multi-kill rounds coming out of every single CT side. And that's the info for Elige. He hears both those flashes get thrown from the short side, and he calls it over to his teammate at pillar. Both players are dodging flashbangs. The utility is essentially useless for Heroic. It's you know, it's a warning for Liquid to look away, and then they're ready for the gunfights immediately after. Barely breaking a sweat. Liquid need one more.
And, you know, I mean, Heroic are already coming into this. God knows where their mental state's at. If a comeback of this magnitude comes in map 1, oh, it does beg the question, how do you recover that? Even with your map pick waiting around the corner at Nuke, we know Liquid can tango there.
Yeah, especially considering the first 7 rounds, it felt like the Heroic of group stage, right? It felt like the full faith, full confidence in the system, pushing through smokes in your face, never giving you a moment to breathe. The exact team that went 5-0 in their group, the only team that could, other than OG back in Group B. Stewie's on the A site for a change. Man down are Liquid. They've read it once again. This is a gamble. This isn't based off info. Grim's just watching out at B. He's been stellar on his own. Fallen's picked up Shush deep on long. And Heroic, they've got to commit.
Yeah, into this stack now. Last time they walked into this stack, they were able to break it apart with ease. It was refrezh doing the bulk of the heavy lifting. You found Fallen, but are you ready for 2 more? They aren't considering that for long! And he's going to hold on to the round. Just Cadian, 22 points of health. The difference between Team Liquid taking this map or it raging on. Heroic has either got to come in clutch with Cadian, Well, Liquid go 1-0 up in the quarterfinal. Cadian does not know where Grim is. He's never been seen, and Naf has fallen off to play long passive. He won't give you this fight. You've got to peek it wide, and there's Naf to close with 4. Team Liquid a comeback from 5-11 down to besting Heroic on Liquid's map pick. Now they sit 1-0 up in this series, and this clash of NA versus Denmark just got so much more exciting.